Commission Rashi, the Torah portion, the weekly Torah portion, we continue. Parshas Vayishlach. Parshas Vayishlach, the second reading. Let's get right into it. As we're into it. We're into it. All right. Here we are. Chapter 32 in Bereshis, in the book of Genesis, verse number 14. We continue now with Yaakov, Jacob, preparing to meet his brother Esav, who's coming after him with 400 men after 20 years of being separated.
Amen. Amen.
All right. V'yolan Sham, and he spent the night, balaylahu, that night, vikach minabah v'yadei, and he took that which came into his hand, mincha le'esav achiv, a mincha. A mincha is like a sacrifice, right? We call it the afternoon mincha when we daven mincha, right? Because it's the afternoon sacrifice called the mincha. But it means a gift, a tribute, right? So it's a gift that he is bringing to his brother Esav. Rashi, the term habab b'viyada means that came to hand, meaning into his hand. Bereshusai, meaning into his domain. Similarly, they took all of the land from his hand, means that from the domain, from his control. Right? In other words, that which was under his control. That's what it means, okay? Midrash Agada, mina ba biyade, but the Agadic interpretation, meaning not the simple meaning, avanim tevis, precious stones, margolius, and pearls, that a person binds up in a packet, and carries them in his hand. In other words, what do you mean in your hand? Well, what are you carrying in your hand? Animals you're not carrying in your hand, right? And so on, right? Or other things. But what do you carry? Pearls, diamonds, those kind of things. You keep on you in hand, right? So that's a midrashic interpretation. Davar acher, alternative explanation, mina babi yodeh, that which came to hand means mina chulin, that which was not sacred. Shenatal meiser, because Yaakov had taken tithes, kamad da'at amar, as you say, as the Torah tells us, aser law, that he shall surely tithe, right? We already learned that he, above in chapter 28, verse 22, is, that he, Esav said he's going to take tithes from everything. And after he took the tithes, now he took a tribute from for Esav. In other words, that which came to hand, what does it mean, that which came to hand? After he took the tithe, because that's not something you can have in hand, because that's something you have to give as a tribute to God. After that, that's what's in your hand, so to speak. Got it? Good. Okay, so what did he take? Next verse. Verse 15. Izim, she-goats, Mosayim, 200, Tiyashim, and he-goats, Esrim, 20. Look at that. 200 to 20, male to female, female to male. Racheli Masayim, use 200, which are female. Be'elim and rams, right, are male. Only a man wants a Dodge Ram. Women don't want it. Rams, 20 esrim. Okay, look what Rashi's going to go to an amazing thing over here. Like why 20 to 10, 20 to 200? Why such a calculation? So many more female to male. So 15 in Rashi, she goes 200 and he goes 20. Masayim izim 200, she goes, shichem esim tiyoshim. They require 20 he goes. B'chein kulam. Likewise, similarly, of all the gifts, The number of males is enough for the need of the female. In other words, one male would be for 10 females to mate. So Bereishis Rabbah, they extrapolate from here with respect to marital relations between husband and wife, as commanded in the Torah. Hatayalim, those who stroll b'chol yom every day. Hapayalim, and the laborers. Those who are just strollers. In other words, they don't work; they just waste their time by, walking in the market. They have to have relations once a day. A man with his wife. Hapayalim, laborers, shtayim b'Shabbos, twice a week. Hachamarim, donkey drivers, achas b'Shabbos, once a week. Hagamalim, camel drivers, achas l'sheshim yom, 1 in 30 days. How come? What's the difference? Because a camel driver is going long distance, right? That's why he's going on a camel. So he's not at home so much. So once in a month, he has an obligation to have relations with his wife, right? Hasapanim, sailors, achas l'shisha chadashim, sailors once in 6 months. In Yedeya, the Kabbalah Midrash Hazeh, I don't know how to align this Midrash, Bikivon, precisely with our verse, with which it is derived. However, it appears in my eyes. In other words, because here it's 200 to 20, right? 1 to 10. So how does it align with what he just said that's brought down in the Medrash elsewhere, right? That they learn from here what it means to have responsibility of a man to his wife. But he says, that we learn from here, the marital relations are not uniform, b'chol adam, in every individual. But it's based according to the exertion that's placed upon him. In other words, what is required of him in his labor. Because we find here, because he gave he go eser izim, 10 she-goats, and similarly to 10 ewes, right? They got 1 ram. Why? Because the male species are idle from work. Therefore, their nature is more often to mate. And to impregnate 10 females. And once a female animal becomes pregnant, she doesn't accept a male. But bulls, on the other hand, that they engage in labor, right? Not like right, the rams. Each male got only 4 females. And for the donkey that goes a long distance, they got 2 females per male. And to camels that they even go more longer distance journeys. 1 for 1. Okay, we're going to see that in the forthcoming verse now, right? He just laid out what we're going to now see. Okay, 16. Gamalim, minikais, nursing camels, obenehem shleishim, and their young 30. Pares, cows, arbaim, 40. Opares asara, and bulls 10. That's 1 to 4, right? Which Rashi just explained. She donkeys, esrim 20, yarim, and he donkeys, asara 10. So that's 2 to 1, right? That's 2 to 1. You got it? Rashi, nursing camels, and their young 30, their young are with them. So that's a simple meaning, right? The young are together with the nursing camels, but the Midrash Haggadah explains, why does it say B'neihem? Well, what's the B'neihem got to do over here, right? What's the point? Now it means U'b'no'ehem, and those who build them. Zachar keneged nekeva means a male correspond to each female. Because the camel is modest while mating, but the verse doesn't publicize it. Wow, amazing! Thank you. You follow that? In other words, the animals are usually not discreet in mating, but camels are. That's why it doesn't say about. It just says the nursing camel with her young, right? And other it doesn't mention about the male. Why mention about the male? Because they're discreet in their mating, and therefore it doesn't mention the male.
The male is busy working.
No, that's not what he just said. That's not what he just said. It's because in the mating they are discreet, so therefore it doesn't mention the male. Not because he's busy. That he's busy is true, and that's why it's 1 for 1, because he goes on long distance. That Rashi mentioned that earlier. But in this Rashi, he's saying, why does it say B'neihem? Why does it say their children? So, right. So the simple meaning was because the children are together with them. The Agganic explanation is because they are modest in their mating. Ayarim, he donkeys, Chamem Zacharim means male donkeys, Rashi says. Wow, fascinating. Now, why do we need to know that donkeys are mating modestly? Why does the Torah have to tell us that? What do I need to know that for? Like, what's that? I don't know.
You mean camel?
Camels, I mean camels. Thank you. Yes. What do I need to know that for? Why is Torah teaching me that? I don't know.
This donkey, we were going to give them
L'chaim.
a merit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so we need to understand why Torah would tell us that, and Rashi has to point that out to us. What's the point? Okay, number 17. V'yitain. So this is the gift that he's giving to Esau. V'yitain b'yad avadav, and he gave these animals in the hands of his servants, eder lavade, each one separate herd. V'yomer, and he said lavadav to his servants, Ivru lafanai, pass before me, v'revach tasimu, and you should make a space between. You should make a space between bein eder or bein eder, between each herd. So let's see Rashi. 17 in Rashi. Eder be'eder levade, each herd separately. Kol mina v'minatzvei. Now each species by itself. V'ibra lafanai, and pass on ahead of me. Derech yaim, a day's journey, by pachas or less. And I will come after you. So that's interesting. Okay, we're going to remember we had the question yesterday about all of this. Now, I said we had to wait till today, and we're getting a little of understanding because the animals are going first. The question is how that happened, that he came. Well, we'll see. And put a space, one herd in front of another, in the fullness of the eye. In other words, as far as the eye can see. That's how far they should be separated. In order to satiate the eye of the evil one, and that he should be astonished on the immensity of the tribute. So what's going on over here? This is the gift he's giving to Esau, and he's placing them like to show how big it was, right? This is not about him and his family. They're going to be behind that. And this is not about his wealth either, because that's separate. He only is taking part of his wealth to give as a tribute, right? So we're going to see what's going on there. 18. V'yitzav es harishain, and he commanded the first one, Lemor saying, Ki yifgoshcha Esav, when Esav will meet Achi, my brother, when he will meet you, Elchan, he will ask you, Lemor, saying, Lemiata, to who do you belong? Ona say Lech. Yeah. Who are you? Who do you belong to? And where are you going? And who are these that are going before you? Okay, Rashi, we need to understand what's he saying over here. Lemiata. Shemiata. Mi shalcho. Who's sending you? The Targum uncle is the Maya. Whose are you? Who do you belong to? Them means bistu, as we say in Yiddish, right? Everybody belongs to someone, right? Everybody belongs to someone, like a lost child. Who's,
So who did he put as With people in charge of that section.
Whoever is avadav. He said avadav. Right? His servants. No name, no brand. Well, let me and who are these before you? Well, let me and who are they? Let me to whom is this tribute being sent? First is who are you as people, and then who is this the tribute? What's this for? Right, that's the second thing.
You know, to give. Maybe it's just people with their own.
I don't know. Good question. I don't know. Good question. Yeah. I don't know. I guess it's been tied with a bow, so tied with a bow. So who's this give for? I don't know. No, good question. Yep. Net alamed mishamish b'reish hateva. The lamed at the beginning of the word b'makam shel of, indicating a possession. All that you see, literally, it means to me. Shalihu, it's mine. Hashem is the land and its contents. Right. So the lamed means here. Mine. Okay, 19. Marta, and then you will answer. So now you're going to respond to him. He's going to ask you this question. You're going to ask, you're going to say that to your servant, Yaakov. Right, that's who you belong to. Mincha he. This is who the gift he shlucha la'adaini le'esav is being sent to my master Esav. V'hine gam hu acharena, and behold, he's behind us. Moment.
Where we go?
Does it feel like heat's coming in? Yeah. Not on heat, so I don't get it. It's on cool.
Oh, warm.
No, it's warm. It's hot in here.
It's hot.
It's hot in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's on cool. I don't. What's going on there? All right. I thought it was just Chumash and Rashi heating up. It's both. Maybe shut it off so at least we won't get heat. Yeah. Okay. Rashi in 19. Thank you, Shmuel. No. You're a troublemaker. Okay, 19. Your servant Yaakov. Al Rishon Rishon, on the first question, respond first. And the last question, answer last. Shesha'alta, as to what you asked, Lemi'ata, whose are you? I am your servant, Yaakov's servant. Yaakov, servant of Yaakov, Shalta, and we asked, who are these are before you? It's a tribute that is being sent to you. And behold, he too, Yaakov. Okay, 20. V'itav gam. And he commanded also, it's a Sheni, the second group, the Gam is Shishin, also the third group, the Gam is and also all those that followed after the groups, the herds. Lamor saying, Kedavar azeh, like this, to Dabrun you shall speak. Al Esav to Esav, that when you find him. 21. And you shall say, Gam, also, Hine Yavdecha Yaakov, behold, your servant Yaakov, Acharenu, he's after us, Ki Omar, for he said, Achapra Panab, the Mincha Olechas Lefanai, that he will be atone or wipe away the furious, his panav, his face, meaning his countenance, the furiousness of his countenance, with the mincha, with the tribute, that precedes me, and afterwards I will face him. Ulai isapanai. Perhaps he will lift up my face, which means he will forgive me, right? Perhaps he will forgive me. Let's see Rashi in 21. I will wipe away his furious countenance. Avatal roigze. Right. The truth is, achaprapanab literally means I will have an atonement or a cleansing of his face. What do you mean you're cleansing his face? Why are you cleansing it? Because he's angry in his face. Rashi's explaining it, right? I gave already it wasn't a proper literal translation. Rashi's explaining means because he's going to be furious on his face. And I'm going to negate that. I'm going to neutralize his wrath. And now he's giving a similar context of where we see elsewhere that this means your covenant with death will be nullified, right? The word kupar, which usually means that like an atonement, means here to nullify, to neutralize. Kapara, not able to nullify. And it appears to me that any form of the word kapara, when it's used and associated with sin or transgression, or in association with the word face or countenance, it means wiping away, removal. Right? Lashon Arami, and in Aramaic language, the Harbi B'Talmud. And similarly, we have many things in the Talmud that brings this idea out. Kapri Yedei, he wiped his hands. Ba'e Kapura Yedei, Ba'ahul Gavra. Like was in Torah terminology, we have it, not just in the Talmud. The Kraim HaMazrakim Shel Kodesh, the sprinkling basins of the holy, are called Kippurei Zahav, golden wipers. Because the Kohen wipes off his hands with them, at the edge of the tossing vessel. Okay, he's just showing that the word means to wipe, right? And that's what an atonement means. Atonement means to wipe away the negativity, right? You're cleansing, you're wiping. So he's just using that. He's wiping his face, meaning of the anger that he's has on his face, the fury that he has. Okay, 22. V'tavar hamincha alpanav. So the tribute, the gift, shall pass before him. V'hulan halaylahu b'machane. And pass before him while he spent that night in the camp. Okay. Now we're going to go into what we learned last night in Torah studies for those who are privileged. Alpan of Rashi in 22. Yeah. Everybody's privileged. L'chaim. Shkoyach, Shmuel for breakfast. A breakfast for champions. Chaim. So Alpanav means literally on his face. So this has the same meaning as Kamoy Lefanav, like before him. Chamas v'shoid yishama panai tamid. So he's just showing again that it means before. But the Midrash Haggadah interprets it means Afu Shari Bekas. He was that Yaakov too was in a state of anger. That he needed to do all of this to appease him. Wow. Why Rashi brings this, I don't know. The second explanation, the Midrash. Like what's bothering him. Okay. Verse 33. V'yakam b'laylahu, and he got up that night. Right? Everyone went to sleep. He got up. V'yikach shtei nashav, and he took his two wives. Shtei shifchosav, and his two maid servants. there's Chadasar Yeladam and his 11 sons. Yavar es Evar Yabuk, and he crossed the Yabuk River. Rashi in 23. There's Chadasar Yeladam, his 11 sons. V'Dina Hechanai. So where was Dina? Nasa B'Teva, he placed her in a chest. But now, and he closed it over her. Shalom yitem ba Esav einav, that Esav should not set his eyes upon her, right? Because he'll set his eyes on her, he'll want her for a wife, right? L'kach nenash Yaakov, but Yaakov was punished for this. Shemana me'achiv, that he withheld from his brother, Shema tachzira lamutav, that maybe she would return him to virtuous ways. And Nafla b'yad Shechem, and instead she fell in the hands of Shechem as a punishment to Yaakov. Wow.
But how could she have done that?
Huh?
How could she have done make him more virtuous?
What?
How could Dina could have caused Esau to become more virtuous? Why is that?
You know, there's a story in the Talmud of of a real bandit. His name was Shimon ben Lakish. Real bandit. And just quickly, so he saw once Rabbi Yochanan, who was bathing in the Jordan River, right? Look, we're talking about over here, Yabuk. Okay. So in the Jordan River, he jumped in after him and he says to him, "Oh, you are extremely handsome young man." He says, "You think?" So he was thinking to himself, "What am I going to say to him? He's a bandit. He's coming after him." He says, "You think I'm handsome?" So first he says, "What a waste! Such a powerful guy like you. Why, you should sit and study Torah." He was taken aback by that. Then he says to him, "You know what? If you will study Torah, you think I'm handsome. My sister, whoa."
Wow.
Says, "If you will agree to go and study Torah, I'll introduce you to her." And guess what? He went to go study Torah, and he became one of the Tanoim of the Mishnah. He argues with his brother-in-law. He married her, Rabbi Yochanan, and so on. So sometimes you gotta give somebody a chance, right?
He tried,
Right?
he tried to jump back, and he couldn't.
Yeah.
And from there they learned that Torah metisha kocho shel adam.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, this is what now why Rashi brings over here, because the fact that he's pointing out, in other words, Dina's missing. Why is Dina missing? Because he covered her up. He wanted to hide her, right? Actually, where did he learn that from? Avram did that. But what's the difference? Avram was going to Egypt. He's going to the despicable people. Esav is his brother, son of Yitzchak.
He thought he was the same thing as well. He thought he was evil. He was a Russia.
Okay, but you see that God didn't think that way. Did he do wrong? He was lacking. When you lack, is there a consequence? Yes, that's the consequence. Why? Everything is all orchestrated and is meant to be the way it's meant to be. Right? That's a different story. But now let's continue with this story. Got it?
By the way, Ma'avar is not a river, it's a passage.
Gateway.
Yabok Shem Nahar is a name of right. You're right. It's not. It doesn't mean right. It means he translates over here the ford, which is like
Passage.
I know a ford is a passage, or it's like a yeah, I guess a passage. Yeah. Okay, passage. Good. Yeah, correct.
Thank you for that story from the Talmud. Thank you.
Okay. Can we get some air in here? What's going on? Oh la la. No, don't open the windows. But to try to see maybe if it'll maybe put it down the temperature. Maybe that's what it needs to do. Put it on cool and put it down. Huh?
Says inside.
Okay, but that okay, that right. Oh, okay, now we're feeling cool. Okay, okay. Shkoyach. Okay. 24. V'yikachem, and he brought them, v'yavirem, and he crossed them. Es anachol, the stream. V'yaver es kol asher loi, and he brought across everything that was his. Rashi in 24, v'es asher loi, all that was his. Habehema metalton, the animals and movable objects. Also, Atzmei King Gosher, he made himself a ferryman. Noitel Khan, that he took from one side, Omaniach Khan, and he placed on the other side. Okay, next verse, 25. This is what was the key verse from last night's class. A very important verse. I mean, they're all important. V'yivaser Yaakov levade, and he was left, Yaakov alone, v'yavek ish imoy, and he wrestled with a man with him, Adalis Shachar, until the breaking of dawn. Rashi in 25. V'yivaser Yaakov, and Yaakov was left. Shachach pachim ktanim. Why was he left alone? He did everything. He crossed everything, right, from one side to the other. The previous verse said. So Rashi explains, Shachach pachim ktanim. He forgot some small jars. The chazer aleim, and he went back for them. Mikan, from here we learn that the righteous treat their property with care. That they should not be sent forth in the hands of theft. In other words, if you would have left them there, someone would have stolen them, and they shouldn't be stolen. The Yavik Ish, interesting that's how he explains it. Yavik Ish, and he wrestled with a man. Huh?
Why is Dina punished for father's action so harshly?
I said, I already answered. That's the ways of God that we don't know. That's the ways of God. We don't know. Right? But we do know that there's consequence from everything. Right? And also we know that it does say clearly that the sin of the parents is meted on the children. That it does say in the Torah, right? Why? That's the ways of Hashem. That's the ways of Hashem. We don't understand.
It says concerning that only if the children goes in the ways of the father.
No, it does not say that. No. It doesn't say that. That only if they go in the ways.
Yeah,
No.
they do tshuva, the children. The father benefits. They don't get punished.
Anyway, whatever. Good question that we don't have an answer. We don't have an answer. Menachem Perish. Menachem explained this. The heat went on again. It's heat coming out. It's heat coming out, no? Yeah, no, shut it off. It's heat coming out. I don't know what's going on. There's something wrong. You feel coolness?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah? Yeah.
Spoons, right?
Okay. All right, fine. I don't. All right. He's aper ish, and a man became dusted. Lashon avak. The word avak means dust. Shayim mailim afar. They will raise dust beragleim with their feet. Ayedei na'anuim, through their movements. Right? And he's translating as wrestling. But the word doesn't mean wrestling. It means dust. But because when you wrestle, you're picking up dust. So that's why it means in context wrestling, right? V'li nira, that's how Menachem explains it. But I see it differently. Shu lashon v'iskasher. It comes from the word bound up. It comes from the word bound up. V'lashon ramihu, and it's an Aramaic term. Basar de aviku be. After it became bound up with it, and tied up in a bow, lashon aniva, tying in a bow. Oh, we mentioned it about tying in a bow. And the way of two people, when they struggle in a wrestle match, right? Each one trying to topple the other, that they are hug and tie up each other, bizraisa with the arms, right? So in other words, he's explaining it means, right, wrestling because you are bound up with each other. That's what wrestlers do. They hug each other and bound up each other, trying to topple one the other, right? So he explains it differently. It's all wrestling. The question is, what does the word mean to bring out that idea, right? And now we have a third explanation. Our rabbis of blessed memory, they explained it, that the man was the ministering angel of Esav. What's that got to do with the word, though? I don't know how that went.
There's the word in Hebrew, avukah, which means they're bound.
But that's his second explanation. But now he gives it to, that's a ministering angel of Esav. How he gets that from the word, I'm not clear, because he doesn't explain it. Yeah. But this third explanation is not based on that. 26. We're following everybody? Okay, we got to go quickly. Yar, and he saw, the angels saw, right, that he was not able, or the man, or right, the third explanation was that it was Esav's ministering angel, right? The man saw, that he wasn't able to overcome him. So he struck him, he touched him by the ball of his thigh bone. Beteka kaf yerech Yaakov be'aveika imay, and the ball of Yaakov's thigh bone became dislocated as they wrestled. Rashi in 26. Ve'yiga bekafri reicha, and he touched the ball of his thigh bone. Kulias hayereyach, the upper end of the thigh bone. Hatakua bekalboisis, that is stuck together to the hip socket. Kori kaf is literally called a spoon, right? Because it's a spoon, right? That's got the ball in the spoon, right? And it's there that he touched him, struck him. And because of the flesh upon it, can mean kav shel kedera, it's the shape of a stirring spoon. Beteka, and he became dislocated. Niskarka, it was pulled loose. Mimokam barta, from the place where it was joined at the hip. We similar term we see. Ben teka nafshi mimech, that lest my soul be detached from you. He's just bringing out that the word means to separate, to detach. Lashon chasara, it means removal. But Mishnah bekaka be sasan, the Mishnah, similar word, means that the shar shem shar shehem, to uproot from their roots. Okay, it's just bringing a proof.
The ligaments got detached. Is that it?
From but the joint got dislocated, right? Which
Okay, no,
so, and I think it's the ligaments that would, because the ligaments are what makes the attachment. So I guess the ligaments are removed from that the bone gets
I
dislocated.
have it in my shoulder, so I know that it's like a
Right,
attachment.
right. All right, the son get healed.
Yes.
27. And he said, Shalcheni. So the angel said to Yaakov, Shalcheni, send me off. Ki Allah Shachar, because the morning dawn has risen. He said, Lo yashalchech, I'm not going to send you. Ki im berachtani, except if you bless me. If you bless me, then I'll send you off. Right? I get, he was holding him in an uncle position. He said, don't say uncle, bless me. That was the uncle. Ki Allah Shachar, what do you mean the dawn broke? Why do you have to go by dawn? Because I have to go and sing by day. He's an angel that has to sing before God by day. Berachtani, bless me. Haideli, concede to me. ala brachas, regarding the blessing, sheberachani avi, that my father blessed me, she'esav me'arer aleim, that Esav is objecting to. Right? We learned this last night, if you recall, right? What I have a little difficulty with is, when he said he was wrestling with the man, he gave 3 explanations, right? Only the third one, I mean, that was in the word of wrestling, but not man. Who's the man? I guess that, yeah, the man is not, according to Rashi, is Esav's ministering angel. Okay.
Does that mean the angel is still trying to get back the blessing to take it over again from Jacob?
Well, that's what the battle was about. Now that he won the battle, so he says, "You want to leave? Well, you got to bless me." In other words, you've got to admit that I have the blessings are rightfully mine, right?
Years later, it's still
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
finish it.
finish it.
28. And he said, Yaakov. He said, "What's your name?" He said, he answered, Yaakov. So he responded, now the angel. He said, they're not Yaakov, but they will say further, that that's further your name, Ki'im Israel, but your name is going to become Israel. Why? Because you have striven with strided with God, with the divine, v'imanashim, and with man, v'tuchal, and you were able, you overcame. Rashi in 29, ki lo Yaakov, no longer is in the name Yaakov, lo yemer oid, no longer will it be said, Shabrachas ba'ulecha, that the blessings came to Ba'akava be'remiyah through treachery and deceit, right? Because his name Yaakov means treachery and deceit, right? Right? That's what the word means. I mean, that's part of the word, what it means. Ki'im, but it came to you through authority, and in full view, and your destiny shall be, Shekodesh Baruch Hu, and destiny will be that God himself, Nigla Alecha, the base Kale, that he will reveal himself in base Kale, he will change your name. Not just me. I'm giving you all a heads up, right? That your name is going to be changed, right? But now his name is also changed.
Is it from this day the name is going to change?
No, because he's not going to be called this. He's not going to be called this until God changes his name. So, which is interesting, right? We'll see. I mean, right? He's not called this, and he's not called this now. And Rashi says, right? Your name will be changed. There, God will bless you. Sham and I shall be there, and I shall concede to you with regard to them. That's what it means in the verse where it says, "V'yasar es malach v'yachal ba'achabi chanein loy." There's a verse in Hosea that he ruled over an angel and triumphant. He cried out and appealed to him. That is, Bacha hamalach. The angel cried, V'isnachem loy, and he appealed to Yaakov. Omad v'isnachem loy. What did he appeal to him? He said, "Beis kel imta'enu v'sham yidaber imanu." That at Beis kel he will find him and he will speak with us. V'hamtein li, give me time. Ad sheyidaber imanu sham, until God, he will speak with us there. But Yaakov did not want to wait. Against his will, the angel conceded to him regarding the blessings right now. And that's what's implied. That he blessed him there. For he appealed to him to give him time. But Yaakov didn't want. So a lengthy thing that he's saying over here, that he didn't want to give him, he wanted to wait to give him the blessing. There'll be later in time, but he said, no, right now. Ima nashim, with men, Esav and Lavan, V'tuchal, and you overcame them. Verse 30, V'yishal Yaakov, and Yaakov asked, he inquired, and he said, tell me your name. You asked my name, tell me your name. Yomer Lama said he shall lishmi. He said the angel responded, "Why are you asking for my name?" And he blessed him there. Rashi Lama said Tishal, why are you asking me? Ein lanu shem kavur. We don't have a fixed name. Mishtan Mishmayseinu. Our names are always changed. Hakol lefi mitzvahs avedus hashlichos. Because according to what the command, what the mission is, sha'anu mishtam shtalchim, that we're sent upon, that's what our name is. In other words, they don't have a set name. Whatever their mission is, that's the name that's given to them. Wow, wow, wow. Amazing. Okay, we're going to see you in a